Election by EVM is only a fraud. It will only lead to a fraudulent elections. And election commissioners and the officials which are on deputation, they are committing a fraud. They are sleeper cells of RSS within the Congress. Many in the Congress party, including Mr. Jairam Ramesh, who is an opponent of EVM. He has misled his leader, Rahul Gandhi, about the not raising, because according to me, Rahul ji is against the EVM. But he is the one who's spearheading the campaign against our campaign. If Mr. Jairam Ramesh and the so-called sleeper cells, which I have identified a few, come with me in the protest, and we face the lathis and bullets of the police, who will definitely want to crush our movement against the EVM, then I would have no grievance against him. I will even say sorry. And suddenly, along with Jairam Ramesh, when this Haryana thing happened, tsunami in the rivers, anti-tsunami happened, then he is now casting doubts on EVMs. Just read your article, Mr. Yogendra Yadav, and who is he close to in the Congress? And if Rahul Gandhi ji somehow imports a good orthopedic surgeon and injects or has who can plant some backbone into these senior Congress leaders, then I think we can at least have re-elections in 20 to 30 seats in Haryana.
Jairam Ramesh is the communications head of the Congress party. He might just turn against you. He might file a defamation, and he might go to any extent against you because you're leveling some serious charges for which he will face some consequences within the party.
See, he will seek advice from his friends, and definitely he will. And the principals, I have been working against their illegal and anti-national activities. So he is not the principal. He is just the secondary functionary. When I am fighting RSS and BJP directly, Mr. Modi and Amit Shah, he will only seek their help. I am an extremist. I will give my life for the Constitution of India. I will. To the ideals of Baba Sahib Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar, I will give.
Hello and a warm welcome to HW News World, your one-stop show, truth be told, for some engaging and thought-provoking conversations. Just a day after Haryana election results today, a delegation of Congress leaders has gone ahead and met with the Election Commission of India, citing some irregularities. Now, there is a larger feeling amongst various sections of the society who feel that there was some kind of rigging in this election. Now, Jairam Ramesh already had written a memorandum to the Election Commission yesterday pointing out that the Election Commission data was not being updated. Then there was a curious case of how some EVMs were 99% charged, whereas some EVMs were 66% charged, which is a clear case of the fact that apparently the EVMs have changed hands or they have been positioned elsewhere. Now, has the Haryana election been rigged, and has it been won dishonestly? And of course, the larger question, that has the mandate been stolen? Today, I have a very special guest with me. He's a Supreme Court lawyer who's been fighting for against the EVMs. In fact, he's running an anti-EVM campaign, and he has been recommending that the elections should be fought with the ballot paper. I have with me as our special guest today, Mehmood Pracha, the Supreme Court lawyer. Thank you so much, Mr. Pracha, for joining. It's wonderful to have you on the HW News Network. And my first question to you is that the Congress delegation has just now met the Election Commission of India. Now, does that really help, or is it just a part of optics which is being played out by the Congress because they can't do anything much?
No, it's not. That Congress party which is the main opposition party of the country cannot do much. I would not say that. However, I am certain that people who are going there, they have no intention to do anything much about this, because according to me, they are complicit in this entire exercise, because such a big and oldest party of the country not being able to uh, control a situation which was demonstrated by people like us and other members of civil society, that election by EVM is only a fraud. It will only lead to a fraudulent elections, and election commissioners and the officials which are uh, on deputation, they are committing a fraud on Indian election system. They are defying their oaths which they have taken to hold a free and fair elections. All this is very elaborately known to all the Congress people, because of people like us, because we had even collected evidence, visual evidence, showing changing of EVMs, showing stealing of physical stealing of EVMs, manipulations of EVMs, physical. So still they were not aware that this kind of things have happened. This 99% charged uh, EVMs is a phenomenon which the Congress party's leaders themselves and workers themselves pointed it out in Madhya Pradesh elections about a year ago. So this was not a new phenomenon. We have been telling them, everybody has been telling them. They know it. They also held a press conference highlighting the public civil society's data and reports. One of their spokesperson and held a detailed press conference regarding that. Yet they allowed these crucial elections to be held by EVMs. That is clearly a pointer towards the fact that many in the Congress party, including Mr. Jairam Ramesh, who is an opponent of EVM, and I have confirmed news about this, he has misled his leader Rahul Gandhi about the not raising, because according to me, Rahulji is against the EVM, but he is the one who's spearheading the campaign against our campaign. He is leading a
No,
campaign
you
against
are
our
leveling a
campaign,
serious
and
charge.
this.
Mehmood, sorry to interrupt you, but you're leveling a serious charge. You are saying that Jairam Ramesh has been misleading Rahul Gandhi on the EVM. Now, how can you say that, and can you corroborate it a little further? Because that means that a very, very senior party person who's supposed to be very close to Rahul Gandhi, and if he's misleading the party, does it mean that the party doesn't know what its senior leaders are doing on important issues?
See, first question is, and the logic. I don't want to say anything which is dehost the logic. That's not my style. So, Mr. Jairam Ramesh, despite Rahul Gandhi ji speaking against EVM, has never said a word about against EVM. In fact, I have evidence that he has been discouraging people uh, from speaking against EVMs. I have proofs of that. That is one aspect. And then, biggest proof is that he has as a knee-jerk reaction, because Haryana's election is a stark example where there is no other explanation. Everybody was under the impression, and rightly so, that Haryana BJP is going to be swept out. So this is, and now the obvious question which any leadership will ask him is, if there is no other explanation, there is one explanation, which is manipulation of elections by the misuse of this EVM. So he himself, as an eyewash, or to once again mislead the top leadership, he raised this issue for the first time, that there is
No, but he
manipulation.
also wrote a memorandum yesterday. No, but Mehmood, he also wrote a memorandum to the Election Commission yesterday. And right in the middle of the day, when the election results were trickling in, he said that the election website, the data is not being updated. Then he pointed out towards how there was a disparity between how the EVMs were charged. Some were 99% charged, some were 66% charged. So, which means he was aware of the issue. And if he's writing a memorandum to the Election Commission, so what does that mean?
There is a saying in English, why to cry over spilt milk? I think that explains. He was aware of all this
Saying that
because
Jairam is a crybaby? Are you pointing out the fact that Jairam is a
when the
crybaby for no?
milk has been spilled, when the milk is on the floor, why is he crying then? Why not before? That is the point I was trying to make. That's one. Two, and what kind of protest is this? That you are writing the biggest culprit of this manipulated election, that this is the complaint we are making against yourself. Do you do that? If you are making a who holds elections, I think this much at least, if nothing else, Mr. Jairam Ramesh knows that it is the election commission which is responsible for holding elections in the country. The election commission is fully responsible for supply of electronic machines. Without intervention of the election commission and its officers, it is very difficult to manipulate elections by way of EVMs, and he is complaining to him. And how? Biggest point is how? Writing a letter? Now come on. Writing a letter to the biggest culprit of EVMs fraud. That this is something very wrong. If he had some, and if not just him, there is a big lobby which he actually leads against the EVM inside Congress. There is a big lobby. I'm very serious about that, and this is a act which is against the Constitution of India, and he's a
You are
complicit
pointing out at a lobby. Mehmood, I'm sorry
inside
to
the
interrupt you
Congress.
because you're making serious charges. You said that Jairam is leading a lobby within the Congress which is vehemently against the EVMs. What does that mean?
No, no,
And
no.
that lobby
Vehemently for EVMs. Vehemently,
for
vehemently
yes.
for EVMs. Vehemently against paper ballots.
Right. So
Inside
vehemently
the Congress.
against paper ballots. But what I want to know from you is that that lobby comprises what? Jairam, of course, is one of the players. Who else, if you are aware of the names?
No, one of the person who is not an active member of the Congress, I would want to name him first, because I don't want to destroy the evidence which I am collecting. So I don't want to name many people. Few people are visible around, in and around Mr. Jairam Ramesh. They are the ones, but I will take names when I have proofs. But one name, which is Yogendra, which actually, who actually,
Are they the people? No, but Mehmood, are they the
Yogendra
people
Yadav.
who belong to his department?
Yes, yes, yes. And outside his department also, but many of them are in his department who are.
Does it include the senior leadership of Congress? Does it
Yes,
include the
yes,
senior
yes,
leadership
yes,
of
it does.
Congress?
It does. It does. And I think if Rahul ji is seeing this interview, and I hope he sees this, certain bells will ring, and he will be the best person to identify these people. That who are the people who were speaking against raising the issue of EVM when it had caught the attention of the entire nation. That was the most prevalent issue in the country at one point in time, and not so in distant past, but just before the Lok Sabha elections. So now these bells will be ringing in his mind that these and these people were. I am collecting evidence, but Mr. Yogendra Yadav is a stark example again, because he was also very close to Mr. Jairam Ramesh, and he wrote an article, detailed article in Indian Express. My God, a center spread, 1,500 words, which declared EVM as the most sacrosanct method of holding elections, albeit forgetting the fact that that's a hilarious article. Anybody who's got some knowledge will only laugh at him, if not have pity on him for being such an intellectual fraud. So, despite the fact that this entire world, all the democracies, advanced democracies of the world do not hold elections by EVM, they hold elections by paper ballots. He actually absolutely destroyed the case of paper ballots. And he was the one who was misleading the Congress party, knowing full well. Now I can level this allegation against him. He was misleading the Congress party by giving speeches like that there is a tsunami of Congress, right? And suddenly, along with Jairam Ramesh, when this Haryana thing happened, tsunami in the rivers, anti-tsunami happened, then he is now casting doubts on EVMs. Just read your article, Mr. Yogendra Yadav, and who is he close to in the Congress? Who has been projecting him? And I will not blame other people. I and Mr. Devashayam also were defrauded by Mr. Yogendra Yadav. He is a, a, agent of RSS. I have to say this. Otherwise,
No, you
otherwise, Mr. Devashayam. Now, let me tell you a very
no,
interesting point.
Raja, you
Mr.
were saying,
Devashayam.
just allow me to ask you this question. You are saying that Mr. Yogendra Yadav is an RSS agent.
Yes, who is part of that lobby which Mr. Narendra Modi and RSS have actually planted at various places, who will justify EVMs and who will give credibility to EVM. And these gang of people are actually they've launched a campaign and a tirade to some way or the other remove the discussion on fraudulent elections by EVM. They want to put this EVM controversy at a back burner. And there is a very, very detailed, meticulous, comprehensive campaign which these people are launching, because they will have more credibility than people of the RSS. So
No,
therefore,
but
they are being used.
if I go by the yardstick of what all you are mentioning, and I'll go back to Jairam Ramesh, that if you're saying that Yogendra Yadav is almost like an RSS agent, he has ill-advised Congress. So what is Jairam Ramesh then, according to you? Is he also some kind of a sleeper cell member, or is he part of the RSS who's
Now,
within the Congress but functioning for BJP? Are you hinting at something like that?
yes, of course, and I'm not hinting that from my own, on my own. There are various senior journalists. One of them I would like to name Mr. Raju Porlekar. He is named Mr. Yogendra Yadav in detail, and he's named other people also. There are various videos of sympathizers, actual sympathizers of the Constitution. I will not say just the Congress, sympathizers of the Constitution of the country, who have made videos, and albeit with various proofs also, that these are the number of people who are big Congress leaders, but they are sleeper cells of RSS within the Congress. And one of the very interesting
But,
logic, one of the videos is given is that these are the people who have not faced even a single FIR or a strong arm tactics, really strong arm tactics, not just for the sake of record. Some piddly little FIR was registered against some of them here and there, but serious action, the likes of which Mr. Rahul Gandhi himself has experienced. His membership was snatched away. He was subjected to questioning of ED. So that kind of attack has never happened with all these sleeper cells, which are top leaders of the Congress party. That's the logic, and I buy that logic, and that's a valid logic.
no, but what I don't understand is that why is the senior leadership of the Congress party, or maybe the central leadership of the Congress party, is not able to understand this? And I'm sure after the results have come yesterday, and the fact that the blame has been put on the EVM, so is the party not realizing whatever is happening with it?
Well, I would disagree with you that you don't understand. You are a seasoned journalist, and you understand these things more than
I'm
me.
just
But
putting a question.
you
I'm putting
want
a
me to
question.
say that, yeah. So
I'm just putting a question
you
to
wanted
the
to hear from my mouth. As since I am being interviewed, you want me to say things about this. You and the world knows traitors in the Congress who were closest to Rahul Gandhi. They had ditched him, and he was literally shocked when Jyotiraditya Sindhya ditched him, when RPN Singh ditched him, when this Jitin Prasad ditched him, when that Bombay person ditched him. So these these were people who were closer to Mr. Rahul Gandhi than Mr. Jairam Ramesh. So this is
But Pracha,
something
are you
which
not
is
scared?
continuously happening.
Uh,
This is a phenomenon which is continuing.
but Pracha,
So everybody,
no, but what I want to understand from you is that are you not scared? Jairam Ramesh is the communications head of the Congress party. He might just turn against you. He might file a defamation, and he might go to an extent against you because you're
he
leveling
will
some
see.
serious charges
He,
for which
he will
face some
he,
consequences within the party.
see. he will seek advice from his friends, and definitely he will. And uh, the principles, I have been working against their illegal and anti-national activities. So he is not the principal. He is just the secondary functionary. When I am fighting RSS and BJP directly, Mr. Modi and Amit Shah, he he will only seek their help to attack me, but they are attacking me directly. So that would be of no consequence. If I am scared, and if I would be scared, I would be scared more of the principles rather than their sleeper cells. So
Right.
that's let's not discuss that. He will not have this courage. I will really love him to file a case against him or do anything which he feels like. But nobody can stop me from speaking the truth. And whatever I say, I do a lot of research. If he says something, I will produce one proof after the other to expose him. I have also exposed a lot of his superior senior members like Mr. Ahmed Patel in the party. People realize what I say after some time, but people do realize that whatever I say that with conviction, I say that with logic, and I say that with proof. Let him do that, and I'll prove what I'm saying.
Okay, now let's put Jairam Ramesh aside for a few moments, because I want to come to the more important question of the fact that, do you sense that there is some kind of a rigging in Haryana elections? Because you pointed this out earlier during the Lok Sabha elections. There have been several reports by Vote for Democracy and several other citizen groups which have pointed out that how rigging took place in the Lok Sabha elections. But what about Haryana? Apparently, I think you've also written a letter to the Election Commission. So, would you like to explain it to the audience? And I also want to know from you that, do you have enough?
See, proof of the pudding is in eating. Mr. Jairam Ramesh and the Congress letter, which and some which things I'm seeing in the public domain, they clearly speak of the things which were there, similar things which were there in Lok Sabha election. They are putting out the data. They're saying Election Commission is delaying the uploading of the voters, and no absolute numbers have been. All these are proofs of election rigging. These are conclusive proof of election rigging, which are absolutely similar to the ones which, and also Form 17C, which the Congress is probably not speaking now, but 17C form has not been given to their polling agents. All that stuff is there. These are proofs. Why would you hide? Why would you hide something which you are legally bound to disclose, not only to the candidates but to the entire world? Why would a the constitutional body like Election Commission do that? There is only one explanation, and that you are not doing your work right. You are committing certain frauds. That is why you hide these things. So that is proof enough. But what I was doing was that I was preparing to
And your
have the proofs of
letter, Pracha,
how.
has been dated today, right? You wrote a letter today.
No, one letter I was, it's not such a simple exercise. I have been undertaking this exercise for Haryana for a long time now when the elections were declared. I had already written a letter that you have to conduct videography of all the 180 constituencies in Kashmir and Haryana, and that videography has to be protected because I am going to ask for them. And if you don't do that, I have written letters to the Election Commission. If you don't do that, that will be a criminal offense you would be committing. So, having said that, now I am writing letter because this I have written letter to get the videography of each and every assembly constituencies in Haryana as well as in Kashmir, so that I can show to the world, like before, this is the modus operandi, how EVMs were manipulated. Allegations will be substantiated by my proofs, which I am already in the process of getting. And if Rahul Gandhi ji somehow imports a good orthopedic surgeon and injects or has who can plant some backbone into these senior Congress leaders, then I think we can at least have re-elections in 22 to 30 seats in Haryana. That's what I'm saying. Ex officio, with the limited information I have gathered till
You are
now.
saying 22 to 30 seats, which means that there are about
20 to 30
20 to 30.
where we will be able to collect sufficient evidence by way of these videographies that there have been blatant discrepancies in following the procedure, which means that these machines have been manipulated, these machines have been changed,
No,
as
but
is
when
the
you
allegation of Congress Party now.
Raja, when you talk about the discrepancies, what are they? I mean, what kind of discrepancies have you noticed, and what do you expect that if Haryana has also been rigged, then what could those discrepancies be?
The evidence I have, and I will collect more evidence, is the fact that the procedure laid down, the legal procedure laid down by the Election Commission, by representation of People's Act, and the rules made under it, and the guidelines, and the frequently asked questions, and the notifications issues, letters issued by the Election Commission, which are mandatory to be followed for a free and fair election without manipulation of EVM machines, which form the basis of the Supreme Court's judgment that these are the basic norms which have to be followed in letter and spirit for declaring any election free and fair by EVM. They have not been followed. The moment we are able to establish that, that is a ground enough for any election to be set aside. And that proof I will have, that is a guarantee I am giving to the people of the country. Now, if Congress party is serious enough, or not the Congress party, but its sleeper cells or leaders, sleeper cells or leaders, please mark my word,
You are on
are
record.
serious. There is
Raja, you are on record when
Yes,
you are saying it's sleeper cells and senior leaders, because I'm sure
yes.
Congress party, when they
There is
watch
a
this,
difference.
when
There is a difference between the two.
I'm
Some
saying
senior
when
leaders who are not sleepers and cells, other senior leaders who are sleeper cells.
I'm sure.
That is a distinction I want to
No,
make.
I'm saying
Okay?
I'm sure the senior leadership of the Congress, when it watches this interview, is going to underline these words when you are using terms like
Yes.
sleeper cells and the senior leadership. Yes.
Yes, there are leaders who are not sleeper cells, who are genuinely wanting to work for Congress. There are. So what I'm saying is, they are saying that we are investigating. We are considering. This is what the sleeper cell is saying now. There is no need. I have all the proofs. Come to me. It's that simple.
So,
But they would
no,
not do
and
that.
see,
And
Pracha, there are two questions in my mind now from what you're saying. Uh, what is your, on one hand, you have a campaign which is batting for the ballot papers and you're against EVM. And second, it seems that you have an angst within your mind against the manner in which the Congress leadership is functioning. Now, I want you to speak about that angst. What is your angst that the Congress hasn't consulted you enough? Are you frustrated with the fact that Congress hasn't given you the kind of weight which it should have given?
that's a very good question. I really respect you for that. I really respect you for that. And you must ask this question. That is how you are, Neelu. That you are. Good question. Yes, I am very, very angry, not just with the Congress party, but with the opposition parties. Yes, I'm very, very angry. Not just the word you've used, and to be a very soft word. Why? Because there is a responsibility, constitutional responsibility on opposition parties, which is more than, constitutionally more than, the ruling party. That duty the opposition party is not shouldering. That's my reason for anger. And that's my reason for saying these words, which I was restraining myself. Because if I don't do this, I will also not be doing my duty towards protecting the constitutions. My words will only be words, like many other people. That is my anger, not angst, against Congress party and its leaders. Nothing else. If Mr. Jairam Ramesh comes with me, because I have already announced a protest. If Mr. Jairam Ramesh and the so-called sleeper cells, which I have identified a few, come with me in the protest, and we face the lathis and bullets of the police, who will definitely want to crush our movement against the EVM, then I would have no grievance against him. I will even say sorry. So that's my anger, and that's my fight with them, which is limited to that. I don't meet
No, but
as a
Jairam Ramesh
principle for
calls
many.
you.
I
If
don't.
Jairam Ramesh
I don't.
today calls you, if Jairam Ramesh calls you today that, okay, Pracha, you come down, have a meeting with me, and we'll go ahead with an agenda. So you're okay with that then?
I am very happy, and I don't want any post in Congress party. I don't want anything from Congress party, for that matter, from any party. The only thing I want is, there is a idea, there is a group called RSS and BJP. They are working day in and day out to destroy the constitution, to destroy our country. Anybody who, I feel, or who is wanting to stop that, I will walk extra miles to be of any use to anyone who is genuinely doing it. And I don't get fooled very easily. I was I was not fooled by Mr. Yogendra Yadav also. You can interview Mr. Devasayam, but I was not exposing him so much. Ultimately, Mr. Devasayam also realized after that article, I was also telling the world indirectly that none of the lawyers, when this EVM case was being argued it properly. I was telling the world that the moment you say we have we don't have any doubt on the integrity of election commission, you have lost the case. I was saying all this. So I don't get fooled very easily. So if somebody wants to deceive me, it will be a tough job. But anyone I feel is not deceiving me and he wants to save the country and our constitution, I will walk extra mile. I would be happy to do everything under my control to support that person. And that person, which we are naming right now, if he will not come to me, that will be proof enough, because he knows my capacity. He knows me very well. He knows the things I've done in past for the Congress party and things I've done in past for the country. He knows it very well. He knows my capacity. He knows my dedication. He knows my conviction, and he knows my success rate also, which is almost 100%.
No, but
And
Pracha,
I
what
don't want anything. He knows this also. He knows this also. But he will not come to me. This I know. No sleeper cell will approach me.
you are 100% sure that Jairam would not walk up to you for at
No
least for this.
sleeper cell will ever approach me, because I call their deceit. I catch them like this.
Can I ask you
Only
very
then
bluntly? Can
Yes.
I ask you bluntly, if you're so angry, if you're so infuriated with Mr. Jairam Ramesh, you think that he's also a sleeper cell within the Congress?
I know one thing for fact. Every evidence points towards what you're saying. Every evidence. But I know one thing for fact. He is the one who is leading the campaign to mislead Rahul Gandhi ji about the EVM business. Rahul Gandhi, as far as my information goes, and my information is never in air, is not never in thin air. He is definitely against EVM. He is definitely for paper ballot. Mr. Jairam Ramesh is leading that campaign to dissuade him from taking a very strong step in that direction of bringing back the ballot paper. That's a confirmed news I have.
No, but what you have pointed out in very, very strong terms, I'm sure people who cover Congress, people who are close to Congress, do know about these things, maybe like, cursorily, but nobody, wants to speak about it. What you have said on record, calling Jairam by various names during the course of this interview, I don't think so openly ever, things have been said against Jairam Ramesh. And because you've taken names, you've called him by names, and you've said many things, that is why I'm wanting to ask you one question, that if you are
That's
pointing
me.
out
Mehmood Pracha, enjoy.
Mr. Pracha, and that's why
That's me.
I'm questioning you. I'm questioning you
Mr.
because of that.
Ramesh has to enjoy it now.
No, since you've taken his name and since you've spoken against him, what I want to know from you is that why is Rahul Gandhi, why is the central leadership of the Congress so impervious to these things? What you are saying, I'm sure the party also realizes it, but the party is impervious to these allegations. So what does it show about Rahul Gandhi? Is it magnanimity? Is this large-heartedness of Rahul Gandhi that he accommodates everyone, knowing the fact that there are sleeper cells within the party, knowing the fact that there are senior leaders who are misleading him, but even then when he's accommodating them, so what does it show about Rahul Gandhi and the Congress as a party?
If it is magnanimity, it's harming the country and the constitution. He has to realize this. He wears the crown of the most powerful person in this country because he's the leader of the opposition in Lok Sabha. 60% of the people of this country. He is a servant of the people. 60% of the population of the country is on his side. They expect him. 60%, not Mr. Narendra Modi. 60% people have not given mandate to Mr. Modi. They have given mandate against Mr. Modi. And that mandate is reflected by the constitutional post of leader of the opposition, which he holds now. He has a responsibility. He cannot be gullible. He cannot have that large heart if he has that kind of large heart. And I'm saying this because he's been backstabbed by n number of people. I've named a few just now because I know all of them. Many of them were appointed by me in the Congress party, and I had kept them in the straight line. So he needs people who will contain such elements, who will ditching Rahul Gandhi is a very small thing.
No, but
they ditched the constitution of India by joining BJP. These friends of Rahul Gandhi.
Pracha, for the last
Rahul Gandhi is not so important our country is. So that's what I am saying. He cannot be now complacent. He cannot afford to. This is for people of India's sake. He cannot be. He has to be ruthless.
Right. No, what you're saying is right, that it's a warning sign for, it's like an alarm bell for the Congress. But for the last
Congress is very small in front of the Constitution of India and India. Congress is very small. Rahul Gandhi is even smaller. But responsibility, number one responsibility is his to protect the country because he's leader of the opposition, and I think he will fail in his duty if he doesn't live up to the occasion.
So are you pointing out at the fact that if Rahul Gandhi is failing, despite all the hard work and the labor he's putting in, it's leaders like JR or Jairam Ramesh, as he's known as, are responsible for failing Rahul Gandhi?
That is most definitely so. There is no absolute doubt in my mind. They have all failed. Not just Rahul Gandhi, but his mission of saving the constitution. If that is the mission. I'm 100% sure of that, because these people are sitting in their comfort zone. Anybody who sits in the comfort zone now, walking behind Rahul Gandhi is not coming out of the comfort zone. That's the power play. You want to show that you are the one who's guiding him. I don't think he needs guidance from the likes of Mr. Jairam Ramesh. He can read things. Now there is artificial intelligence also. Whatever he feeds in, he can. The leadership is something else. To break what he has done, and I respect him the most for this. He has broken traditional lines when he says that I will protect the constitution. He has broken traditional lines when he says I am for reservation. He has gone against his own family ancestors. He's gone against them. That's what a leader has to be. He is accepting the mistakes of his predecessors. That is what I appreciate about him. And that is why he is hope. He cannot afford to not live up to the situation. There is a great difficult situation which our country is facing. And he is in that position. He cannot escape that responsibility.
Okay, Pracha, now I'm just looking at the clock. We've been speaking to each other for the last 36 minutes, 31 seconds almost. You've taken Jairam Ramesh's name many times. You've pointed out the fact that he's trying to mislead Congress. He's almost like a sleeper cell within the Congress. He's in a comfort zone. Many things you've pointed out. Now, at the end of the interview, I haven't done a more candid interview leveling such kind of allegations against the senior leadership of Congress. What I want to know from you is that, are you afraid of any kind of a backlash from Jairam Ramesh or from the senior leadership of the Congress for whatever you have said so candidly on my interview?
See, I am I am facing the greatest possible threat in the country already. So these threat will be lesser than that. So my glass of threats is full. Anything that comes will only flow over, spill over.
No, but
So
does it close the doors of Congress for you now? Because you've said many things, which apparently Congress might not like it, and Jairam Ramesh
my
himself might
my,
just
my
ensure
mission
that
is,
the Congress are closed for you.
see, Congress's door were closed on me long time ago. I was kicked, pushed, slapped with false cases from by a senior leader who was almost the prime minister, Mr. Ahmed Patel, who used to call himself as my elder brother. So I have seen all that. And now I have only one mission that is behind me, and I am head of that organization called Mission Save Constitution. My mission is this now. I have traveled beyond all this. I have no doubt in saying that my first break in life, and for this I have a special affection for Gandhi family because of Rajiv Gandhi. He gave me my first break in my life. So I could not, although I did a lot of hard work for Rajiv ji also, and there are so many colleagues of ours who can vouch for that. But he is no more. So I cannot fight with him. Our So I cannot fight and go against him. That's why I cannot. I have a special affection for Gandhi family. I have risked my life many a times. My colleagues in the Congress, my friends, now not so very friendly, can vouch for that. How much risk I have taken for Gandhi family. Yet I am saying country is above Rahul Gandhi. Country is above Gandhi family, and Rahul Gandhi is in that position. So these things I've traveled far beyond. I've lost so much. Mr. Ahmed Patel slapped
Sure.
the case of robbery against me. False case.
Logically speaking, if you look at the things, if you are, spearheading a campaign like a campaign for the ballot paper, you're against EVMs, and then simultaneously you want the support of the political parties as well in this campaign, and which is why you look frustrated, you look angry, you look fumed at whatever has happened. But how would you go on if, like, every party, like the way you've started calling Congress by names and certain leaders you've pinpointed, do you think that other parties would end up giving you support? They would see the interview and they will say, apparently, that maybe he's too much of an extremist. He's almost like a maverick because he doesn't think like our political framework.
That's my flaw, but I deliver. I am very candid in this. I am an extremist. I will give my life for the Constitution of India. I will, to the ideals of Baba Sahib Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. I will give my life, but I deliver. I deliver
Okay.
like nobody else. So that's it.
Okay.
That's and if somebody doesn't want, and what do I want in return? Nothing. Which political party has given anything in return to me apart from the fact that I have been given certain posts? But I have never made a single rupee. I have contributed, and this is not just words. Otherwise, I would be behind bars. Mr. Amit Shah would not leave me. So
All
this
right.
is, I give, I don't take, and I can't say that about a lot of people. I have detailed dossiers on everyone. I am not also so powerless. I have detailed dossiers on everyone. I have.
No, but now I'm just thinking of the next step. After people watch this interview tonight, once it's aired on HW News, I'm sure a lot of people will watch. A lot of people within the Congresses are going to watch. Uh, what do you think is going to be the impact of this interview on you and your campaign?
See, the water has crossed my nose. If we don't fight for, next is what? Maharashtra election. What is next? Jharkhand election, Delhi elections. If Modi ji and Amit Shah ji become so desperate, I was thinking, because of their internal struggles also, they will sweep these elections, and then they will have a midterm election. They will sweep Lok Sabha election and 400 cross. What will the country do then? So I am desperate. I am not denying that. But I have used. Anybody any person any party who wants to genuinely save the constitution. I mean, people like me are used and thrown. I fully realize that, and I am game for
People
it.
would also
I am game
Pracha,
for it.
people would also say, no, what I'm saying is that after watching this interview, people would also say that apparently you are publicity hungry, and which is why you are saying such outlandish, you're making such outlandish statements. People might come up with statements like that.
Do I have less publicity till now? Am I not popular? And I'm not popular how? That's most important. Do I go to any of these criminal television channels? I don't. Still, I'm popular. I work hard. I work 10 times hard, and I create my own niche. I have I have conveyed my message only through people like you and social media. I have totally boycotted the criminal television. They will love to call me, but I have put certain conditions on them. 50% who pose or masquerade as journalists have the guts to give me 50% time in life. So I don't go. Am I not popular? Am I not popular?
Okay.
This you can't say.
Okay.
Am I not popular enough? You can't say. So I'm not hungry for popularity. And 90% of my work, please believe me on this, is not in public domain. The moment people know how much work I have done for the country, I will be very, very more popular.
Okay.
More than this. The
I'm
present
going to now see and wait and watch as to what the repercussion of this interview will be, because I'm sure once this interview is aired, a lot of people within the Congress are going to watch. They will react in their own ways, or they might not react. I don't know. So let's wait and watch. But it was wonderful. Thank you so much, Mehmood Pracha, for making some candid statements. And I don't think in the recent past, I've heard such a candid interview, and especially blaming the senior leadership of the Congress as to what's really ailing the Congress when it comes to important issues which matter the electoral exercise. Thank you so much, Mehmood Pracha, once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving me a platform to speak the truth. The whole truth, nothing but the truth. Thank you.
Stay ahead with our cutting edge news app. Instantly access the latest shorts in just 1 minute and breaking news in just 50 words. Download now for a smarter, faster news experience.